Hello Aquarius, welcome to this reading. My name is Zane and we are going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Aquarius for the week of January 10th. Now Aquarius, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Aquarius, I do not do personal readings, so please do not get scammed. If you get a message from someone, that is not me, that's someone impersonating me. Please know that. I also do exclusive content on my Instagram, so if you'd like to get to know me more, you can give me a follow there. But with all of that said, let's see what we have here for you, Aquarius. Now, I thought I'd mix it up here a little bit and do a Celtic cross spread for this week. So if you're curious, that is what the name of the spread is called. And if you're somebody who watches my videos regularly and you have not yet hit the subscribe button, please do consider doing that. It helps my channel grow in a big way. Same is true if this is just the first time you are watching me. So, all right, let me make sure everything is in view, and a happy new year to you, Aquarius. Hope 2022 is amazing for you. So, welcome to the new year. All right, let me make sure we're all set up here. And I think this looks just about good enough to me. Energy on the bottom, you have the Three of Swords. So this is a card of heartbreak in the tarot. You know, it's closely associated with people who are going through breakups, divorces, separation from another being, from another person. And that can certainly be the case. However, you know, with this card, I always like to say it's anything that breaks your heart. You know, that can be letting go of or being severed from a job with the Three of Swords. I see that come in often with the tarot readings. You know, it can also be like a argument that you have with a loved one or a friend who betrays you. Something like that happening with this Three of Swords energy here. And so keep that in mind. Do keep that in mind. I do feel like maybe some of you are looking to heal from that situation. I do think that you're on the mend is what I will tell you, because you have a very good combination for being on the mend, specifically from the Three of Swords, which we will talk about as we move along in this reading. And I do feel like you know, you're going to start this year off and say, you know what, I'm a new Aquarius here. This is a new Aquarius. I am not taking the garbage with me. I am taking out the trash. And I do not mean to say that in a disparaging way, but I think you understand the metaphor. So I think that, you know, some of you are really starting anew here in this year, and it looks very good. So let's see what else we get. Right away, in the middle, you have the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords, picking up right along here with this Swords energy. Queen of Swords is somebody who does not let anyone stand in their way. Okay, the Queen of Swords takes their sword and cuts through anything that is no longer serving them. In fact, this energy here is, as I like to say, this person is the assassin in the tarot. The Queen of Swords will, you know, say what they need to say, do what they need to do, and act when they need to act. And for me, it's a major card of independence as well in that way. The problem is the Queen of Swords can sometimes be so forceful and be such a force of nature that they isolate themselves, that they cut people out of their life in some ways. And, you know, you might be on the Aquarius Pisces cusp, by the way. If you're somebody who believes in cusps, or you may be a late degree Aquarius, early degree Pisces that you're watching this, or something like that. Yeah, some people believe in cusps, some people don't. I'm not here to say what is right or wrong, but I do get that energy. I always say this is someone like who's a late degree Aquarius. But at any rate, energy, so that's what's going on in your current situation. You're allowing the severance to happen here with the Three of Swords. You may even be the one who delivered the breakup if you're dealing with a breakup. You also here in your problem situation have the Hierophant. So I actually feel like this is less about a relationship breakup and more about a breakup from a career or a workplace. Okay, the reason being is I almost always use the Hierophant to represent your place of employment or the place that you work. It can also be the place that you worship, the place that you attend, a group that you're a part of, a large organization that you're a part of. This is a structure. The Hierophant represents a traditional structure. And especially if you're if you're somebody who's worked at a large organization, that could certainly be the case. Some of you have maybe left or you've been severed from an organization. The Hierophant can also represent marriage, though, actually. Now that I'm really thinking about this, it can be divorce as well. So, backtracking here, it can be I actually feel like it's either divorce or separation from a long-term relationship, or it's leaving a organization that maybe you've even worked at for a long time. So those are kind of what I'm seeing here. It really can be both. It depends on your situation. Now, in the past, you have the World here. This is the completion of a cycle. You have ended a situation that you've been in for a long time, because it takes a long time to get to the World, all the way from zero, the Fool, all the way through the major arcana and into the World. That takes a long time to go through that, right? And so you have either been in this relationship or this marriage for a long time, or you've worked at this place for some time. And the thing about the World is it's a very good card. It's Saturn energy. The thing is, when people go through their Saturn return, which is like typically between the age of 27 and 30 or 57 and 60, oftentimes either relationships end or jobs end. And it's because it's no longer serving you and where you are. And so I'm not saying you have to be in your Saturn return. It's just an example of this energy here. And so for some of you, a chapter is ended, but also a chapter is beginning with the World. It's a very good card. So in the future, you have the Queen of Cups. This is, I like to say this is like the traditional therapist in the tarot. It's one of the most intuitive cards to pull in the tarot. But I've actually been extending this out and saying that this is anything that's therapeutic in your life. So a good example that I give with the Queen of Cups, it could be like a trusted friend or ally who will spend hours with you on the phone, talking with you, helping you, listening to you, being there for you. It could be anything that's therapeutic, such as, doing Reiki, doing Qigong, going to acupuncture, doing yoga, doing something that you enjoy doing that really helps, that's therapeutic for you, exercise, jogging, walking, whatever it may be. And so at this time, you may want to, I get the sense that whatever move's going on here, this ending here, is probably going to open you up to experiencing things that are more in alignment with joy for you. So I definitely like to see that. Now, what's on your mind here in your conscious thoughts or awareness is the Six of Wands. So the Six of Wands here is somebody who is a major success. This is someone who exceeds expectations. It's a big win. It's the second win in the suit of wands, and it talks about maybe even public recognition. I do feel like if you've left a job, you may have severed that tie, but I don't think you did it in a negative way. I think you were amicable in the way that you ended that situation. This idea of being publicly recognized is definitely there. Now, this was on your thoughts, but it's a very good card, and it says you can expect to have achieved some major victory in your life. Now, in the subconscious, you have the Death card. So it's interesting. We get a similar meaning here to the World, not exactly one-to-one, but similar, and I'll explain why. So this Death card's extremely misunderstood in the tarot. It really just means that there's change coming. It may catch you by surprise. Here in this lower row, you may have caught some people by surprise, but because this is the subconscious, it's the hidden, it's what you can't see. But the Death card really only talks about change. It does not mean literally death or dying, okay? Very rarely does it actually mean that. And it's similar to the World in that it's a transformation, okay? It's similar in that there's a change happening. One thing is ending, but another's beginning. One chapter's closing, another's beginning or opening, right? And so changes, chapters starting here for you, Aquarius. Now, in your staff, in the direction you are headed here, in your current influence, the way that you are influencing the situation, here we now come to the healing. Okay, let me point something out here. You have this Three of Swords on the bottom, okay? Right here it is. The Three Swords are there breaking your heart. But with the Four of Swords, you're healing from heartbreak. The Three of Swords card is on the banner above, this person who is resting and healing. They're thinking about this Three of Swords, but ultimately they realize that there's another sword available and they are achieving healing. They're achieving some sort of, rest and healing from this heartbreaking situation. And so I think you're on the mend. I think you're on the mend here. And I definitely like to see that because it's your influence. It's the way that you are influencing the situation. So really, healing is your journey. Nobody can tell you how to heal. in your life. And so to have it there is definitely a good sign. Again, doing things that result in rest, result in you recuperating your energy with this Queen of Cups as well in the future. Now, in your external influence, you have the Hermit. The Hermit is somebody who is really taking the path of the sage. Okay, they are wise, they are knowledgeable. Really, they're traveling the universe for answers and for knowledge. And they're also traveling their inner consciousness for answers. Really, what they find in that experience is that the light is not only within the lantern, but it's also within them. And so they know that by returning to their inner knowledge, by returning to their inner wisdom, the Hermit has all the answers available. Okay, this is also, you can see self-mastery here. As you see the cane and the gray hair, this person is experienced. Okay, they have mastered something in their life, but really what they've mastered is their self-knowledge. Okay, the return to the inner wisdom that is available to all souls, all living souls here on planet Earth. And so, yeah, as this is in your external awareness or your external influence, what could be happening here is you have an event or an experience that leads to enlightenment in some ways. I can see that happening because the external influence is outside of you. You can't control the external. You also have the Page of Wands here in your hopes and fears. You're hoping for a new opportunity. Whether it was a severance or you left, it may mean that you left without an opportunity. And now you're kind of like, where is this coming? Is it going to come? Whatever. Have faith at this time. The Page of Wands does indicate a job offer or a new opportunity in your life. It's also good news generally coming in. This can represent downloads of information as well, coming into you from the astral realms or wherever it may be. And so you're really hoping for something new here. I do think you're getting it, but the thing is you're on the mend right now and you're figuring it out. Now, the outcome is the Six of Cups. So you are still, at the end of the day, okay, you are still spending some time here in the past. And let me tell you, Aquarius, think about this from an extremely meta position. The past literally does not exist. Okay? The past is a collection of events that have already happened. The future literally doesn't exist either. And the future is just a collection of thoughts that haven't happened yet. And so truly there only is now. So when you get the Six of Cups, yes, reflect on the good times. Take a look at the past. Ask yourself what you can do to improve. Stop and smell the roses even maybe, which is what this person's doing. But do not spend too much time in the past because you're missing out on what is now, what is right in front of you. And so that's what I have here. The Six of Cups can be a person from the past trying to re-enter. I just feel like you're spending a little bit too much time in nostalgia. And you may miss out on this Page of Wands in your fear. So let's go ahead and start to clarify this situation even more. Let's pull these three cards. Okay, I like what I see. So you have the King of Wands. Some of you are leaving for a self-employment opportunity here. The King of Wands is the traditional entrepreneur in the tarot. In the workplace, as you see here on the throne, they are the star of the show. Their sun shines brightly, as you can see here. But, and with that, they are the most talented person in the room. You can always tell who a King of Wands person is, which, by the way, doesn't matter what gender you are, you can take on the aspects of any of these cards. These are just masculine and feminine energies. And, so first of all, your prospects are probably pretty good because you probably have a talent and you probably have something that you can bring to the table if you are looking for employment. But second of all, I do feel like some of you have a major talent that you're looking to bring with you towards self-employment. You also have this Nine of Swords here. There is something that's keeping you up late at night. This is one of the stress cards in the tarot. Okay, this person's having a nightmare. And really, they're making something out to be a much bigger deal than it actually is because they feel like these 9 swords are going to come down and hit them, but they never actually do. And so it does say to get out of your mind to the best of your extent and your ability. It's easier said than done. But lastly here, you have the Ace of Swords. I see you doing that. This is mental constructs, mental clarity, breakthroughs, the feeling of having the clouds in the background clearing, making way for a major triumph. The Ace of Swords does indicate a victory or a triumph as well, and a new beginning that comes about after you are victorious. So incredibly positive card. Aces are always good. They're always new beginnings. You have 2 of these, well, 3 with the Ace of Swords, the World, and the Death card. So the sun is shining here for you, Aquarius, and I do feel like you're extremely gifted in something that you're doing here, which is probably why you even had this confidence to leave if you are the person who left. But let's go ahead and pull some additional cards here and see what else we get. All right, let's see what we have here. I'm going to pull this one too, because it just seems like I wanted to. Big happy changes. I like that a lot for you. You have, within the next few months, opportunity. There's your opportunity that you're looking for. And trust. Love that message for you, Aquarius. The opportunities are available. And I do need to say, just, outside of intuition, outside of tarot, right now where we are in the timeline, there are more employment opportunities than ever before. The reason being is people are even paying more money right now to hire people because of work. Work is changing. The way that we approach work is changing. So there are opportunities aplenty right now for you, Aquarius, if you're looking to get a job. If you're not, if you're looking for self-employment, contracts, opportunities, an idea that you're connecting on here with the Ace of Swords, which can be implied, just you have to trust at this time. Okay, trust that you are on the right path. Trust yourself. Okay. So let's see what we have here. All right. Let's pull some Kipper cards. Have poverty, message of concern, distant horizons, despair, child, and mature man. Now, some of you maybe there were changes in the workplace. If you did get let go of, what the cards are saying here, it was a gift in disguise. It was actually a blessing in disguise with the gift card. Poverty and despair. But at the same time, that could also be referring to you having left and not having an opportunity present itself yet. The false person, I feel like in this case, is maybe if you're here for relationships, it could mean this person that you're ending it with. That could certainly be the case. Message of concern is interesting. I do feel like that is kind of saying to me, confirming my intuition, which is, I think, the majority of you are the ones who put in your 2-week notice or you left your job. Like you delivered the bad concern or the message of concern. But I do feel like that was either you leaving or the severance happening, whether it was you or the other party doing that. So I think that's what's showing up there. Now, mature man and distant horizons. Look, trust. Be mature and trust at this time because there are good times ahead with distant horizons. Okay, the skies are green. The skies are blue. So thank you so much for being here, Aquarius. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already. Drop a comment to let me know what you think, and check out my website, zanintuitive.com. You can sign up for my email list. I'll see you in the next one.